And just a reminder of what Plato said with the Atlantis disaster, that it wasn't the civilized people who lived in the cities who survived. It was the shepherds and the nomads and the hunter-gatherers who survived that disaster. And I'll close on this point about NASA's complacency. NASA will, if you read their literature, they will tell you we're in no danger from objects from outer space. But look at the fine print. What they say is, NASA says that all known potentially hazardous asteroids have less than a 0.01% chance of impacting the Earth in the next 100 years. That's very reassuring. We can relax, we don't need to worry. But the trouble is the word known. All known potentially hazardous asteroids. NASA can only report the number that it's spotted so far. But the problem is the unknown objects, and scientists estimate that so far only 1% have been found, with 99%, more than 100,000, still awaiting discovery. And I think we're facing wake-up calls from the universe. 2013, Chelyabinsk. Scientists reveal the full power of the Chelyabinsk meteor explosion. 2014, NASA on alert as huge asteroid set to skim past the Earth at 23,000 miles an hour. 2015, NASA just announced an unexpected asteroid flyby this Halloween. 2016, huge comet unexpectedly whizzes past the Earth. February 2017, NASA warns that asteroid larger than the Empire State Building could smash into the Earth. Here's the BBC, April 2017, Gibraltar-sized space rock passes the Earth. We're in a cosmic shooting gallery, and these things are whizzing by us all the time, and very often we only discover them after they've gone past. Much more work needs to be done on this area. Scientists are increasingly aware of the danger. The focus, rightly and properly, is on the Taurid meteor stream and on the huge objects that are circulating in the Taurid meteor stream. We absolutely, as a sophisticated technological civilization, we already have the technology to sweep our cosmic environment clean. All it would require is a grand human project. We'd all have to get together and pool our skills, and we'd have to stop throwing money at armies. We'd have to stop throwing the trillions of dollars inventing ever more sophisticated ways to murder one another. Instead, for the first time, we'd have to recognize our collective humanity and get together to make the Earth safe for our children and our children's children. And it can be done. The technology exists now. They're already looking at ways typical of our society. They're looking at ways of mining asteroids. What can we get out of them? Well, if we can mine the bloody things, we can move them as well. And the work has already been done. All it takes is money. And right now, that money is not being provided. NASA photographs of the Earth from space are very beautiful. They call it the black marble. And we look down upon the Earth and we see the parts of the Earth that are lit up and glowing. And this is normally taken as a sign of technological advancement. Our planet is beaming out to space, the bits of it that are technologically advanced, where everybody's got it good, and the bits of it that haven't yet been electrified and that are dark. And we kind of smugly regard ourselves as superior for being able to do this. It's true in all hemispheres. If we go to the Western Hemisphere, there's North America gleaming like jewels, and there's the Amazon Basin almost completely dark. And in the Amazon Basin, hunter-gatherer tribes who don't even know we exist. They may see an airplane from time to time, but they've not been contacted yet. We get some photographs of them like this. So the point I want to end on is this. If the Younger Dryas comet were to hit us again, if we were to face a cataclysm on the scale that the Earth faced 12,800 years ago, who would survive and who wouldn't? I don't think that our advanced technological civilization, human beings would certainly survive, but I don't think our advanced technological civilization would survive. This is a civilization that is built upon interdependency. Everybody has their specific skill and they don't know other skills. We all depend on each other in order to create this success story. Very few of us have any survival skills at all. We don't know how to hunt, we don't know how to fish, we don't know how to grow crops. We are completely ignorant in that area. And Socially and psychologically, we are not prepared to have it all stripped away from us overnight. Yes, there would be survivors, but they would be incredibly demoralized. The food into cities is on a 3-day basis right now. Any city will starve if it doesn't get its food supply within 3 days. You can imagine the Walking Dead scenario breaking out relatively quickly across the industrialized world. But there are people who would make it through almost unscathed, and those are these people. Those are the hunter-gatherers. Those are the meek of the earth, whether in the Amazon jungle or in Namibia. These are people who are in the business of survival, and they survive incredibly well, and nobody can teach them anything about survival skills. If this cataclysm were to occur, it would be they and their descendants who would carry the human story. We and our descendants would be gone. And their descendants 10,000 years from now, who's to say that they wouldn't be telling a story, a myth, perhaps the archaeologists of that time would say, a myth about how there was a time when there was a civilization on this planet that was so advanced they were almost gods. They could fly to the moon. They could speak to one another and see one another on opposite sides of the planet. Their achievements were incredible, but sadly, they became arrogant. They became cruel. They began to impose their will on other peoples around the world. They ceased to wear their prosperity with moderation, and the universe struck them down. So let's make sure we're not the next lost civilization.
If you want us to improve the quality of our videos, and to frequently upload videos on YouTube, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Earnings from YouTube are not enough, and thus we are asking you to help us on Patreon, so that we can focus full-time on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share.